My husband just uncovered secrets from my past, and now I'm terrified our marriage might be over. Original post. I'll try and keep this short. For 5 years, been married for 2 years, and up until last weekend, things were perfectly fine. Maybe once in a while we'd bicker about money or something, but 99% of the time we were happy together. While out last weekend for a friend's birthday, mine told my husband about a relationship I had in college. My husband knew about my college boyfriend, but obviously I didn't share intimate details. Used to engage in threesomes with him and his male roommate, probably 12, 15 in total, but all my husband knows is that it was more than once. College was a totally different time in my life. I was doing recreational drugs every month, partying, having casual flings, just like everyone else at that age. I look back on those years. It was 10 plus years ago. I'm a totally different person now. Regardless, I know my husband sees me in a totally different light. He hasn't slept in our bed since, and he's barely spoken to me all week. I'm so scared he'll divorce me. Just trying to stay out of his way while he works through this. I really want to sit him down and clear the air. Where to begin? I feel like one slip of the tongue and our relationship could be completely over. I know I'm not a good from him, so please don't lecture me. Life I thought I'd my one secret, and I honestly debated telling him about it but came to the conclusion that no positive. It. TLDR. My husband, at Sim 34 of 2 years found out some of my F31 sexual exploits in college. He has barely talked to me since he found out, and I'm afraid our be finished over something I did 10 years ago, before I even relevant comments. Commenter. People don't change that much. It could be that he just simply knows more about how you view sex now, and it may not be views. Pulling a three-way with 2 dudes 10, 15 times, that's a whole lot of sucking and fucking. It shows a lot about how you like to be treated and what you crave. I honestly don't blame him for being creeped out about that. Oop, most times there was drugs or alcohol involved. It's not something I'd ever want to do at this age. Like I said ago, Tilda put 80. You used to be sexually adventurous because he has a moral problem with it? Or is it because you are not sexually adventurous with him? And I don't just mean having threesomes. I mean fun, passionate sex. Oop, he's never complained about our sex life into explicit detail, but people are asking and it's an anonymous account, so here it goes. Is that I won't do anal, which I know he enjoys. And often painful for me. I don't like him coming on my face. Body is fine, in me is fine, and not that he's ever asked. I'm done with group sex. Deleted. Honestly, I don't think you've done anything wrong, and if this something that occurred when he wasn't in your life whatsoever is a deal breaker for him, then you're better off. He's being a childish idiot about it. The past was meant to stay in the past, and I don't believe you were obligated to talk to him. With previous partners, the way he is acting is ridiculous. I understand he may be bothered. Handle it like a man. Better off without him. This is the man I love. We've built a life together. A divorce would completely ruin my life. How did her husband? To an old friend of mine. We're all drinking? My friend claims it was a drunken slip of the tongue, but she has a history of pulling shit like this. I'm 100% done with her. I no longer consider her a friend. Oop, added no. I'm looking to save my. Want to discuss this? We still hadn't slept in the same bed or spoken more than 10 words to each other. In passing, as I was waking up, he was walking in the front door with 2 coffees. He sat, kitchen table, and finally opened up to me. Basically, he feels that he was conned, saying that he wouldn't have even dated me, let alone married me. View of me has changed, and he no worthy of being his wife. Quoting him here. Loving prick, beyond the sexual aspect. Trusts me because I kept something this big from him our whole relationship. Say could convince him that these were past mistakes, and not reflective of who I am today. He wasn't angry with me, didn't call me a slut, or anything like that, never once raised his voice. Part of me wishes he did, although I can't exactly say why. Right now, it felt like I from a job So that's it. We are getting divorced. My supposed life partner turned his back on me without a second thought. He didn't even have the decency to discuss it with me first. Apparently he visited his. The process is in motion. His words. Knowing him, there is his mind. My husband owns multiple businesses and without a prenup, I signed it. Honest to God thinking we'd never, ever have to use it. Well, he had the loving. He'd pay off the remainder of my student loans, which he isn't legally obligated to do. While I appreciate that, I am going to meet with my lawyer this week and see if the agreement can be challenged in court. We have built a life together. I gave him 5 of the best years of my life and I've been 100% faithful to him. I don't deserve to be tossed out like a piece of trash. So that's it. My life turned upside down in the span of a week. Over. Even knew him. It's loving. Asinine. The thing is, even as I wrote the original post, in the back of my mind he's ended friendships. Partnerships over less. TLDR. My husband finally spoke to me. Proceeding with a divorce. Deleted 1. I'm curious, why are you looking to challenge the prenup in court? Do you feel that you or money from his businesses? Or are you just being a vengeful person? Were you an investor? Projects with him? Were you instrumental? Development and success. Don't give me this emotional support crap. The whole time, you were supposedly, emotionally. He was using the proceeds from his businesses to provide for you. That's the deal. In a marriage. Now that the marriage, his businesses, is going to be cut off from you, he's being generous by offering to pay off your loans. It sounds like you're bitch looking to suck as much. Legal system will allow. Deleted 2. It's within her rights to contest it in the courts. She has a case or not. Oop, exactly. What do I have to lose? To protect his fragile ego. Over at square one. I'll probably have to move. Have a car by summer. I get why he's mad. He just didn't even give us a chance. He doesn't know our relationship won't work out. He didn't even try. His lawyer exercised a contingency agreement without even talking to me. He's taking the coward's way out and it destroys macaroni and milk. I seriously don't know what the fuck is going on in this thread where the devoted comments are you because you're a fucking liar. This is the same subreddit that their sexual past is no one else's business, barring diseases or sex work. Only read your update and I don't know. Either way, you did nothing wrong. If your sexual past was such, he should have asked you some questions, not just assumed you were some pure little angel, living in a bubble just waiting for this one specific man to come whisk you away. If having a sexual past is a deal breaker and he didn't question you, that's on him, not you. Lawyer up. And go find some guy who won't judge you for actions that happened 15 years ago and have no bearing on him whatsoever. Oop, never said I was a virgin. We met when I was like 25. Come on, anytime I mentioned an ex-boyfriend, not sexually, just in conversation, like with ex-boyfriend, he'd get pissy and unhappy. He never came out. But I could tell it made him uncomfortable. So early on in our relationship, I made the conscious decision to stop talking about my past. Now to the next story. Story 2. Husband plans dinner date with long-term ex and am I the asshole for overreacting? I really need input from people who don't. So their opinions. I'm very emotional and tired, so I apologize in advance for any typos. My husband, Jack M., 36, used to date Emma F., 34. For years, they broke to get married or have kids. Emma moved away, and about a month later, Jack met me, F., 30. I don't look like the typical girls Jack had been dating. For example, Emma is super tall and has a PhD. I'm petite, 110 pounds, and short. I'm a nurse. I'm an introvert, apparently. Social butterfly. Jack has a group of friends that he's known since childhood. They're like brothers to him, but from the very beginning, they didn't like me. They still call me the. During his best man speech, he joked. But our brother Jack made an honest woman out of her. Everyone laughed. I didn't. They also. And that Jack downgraded since he has a PhD technically, postdoctoral, from a doctor to just a nurse. For my own sanity. And Jack still hangs out with. There was a fundraising gala, and Emma was there. First time in person. Jack introduced me, and Emma said, "Yeah, I know who she is." The guys weren't kidding when they described her. Jack quickly changed the topic and was in town, she said, for a week, and then they ended up chatting all night. I decided to talk to other people later. At bedtime, Jack mentioned that he should go out to dinner with Emma. I assumed he meant inviting her over, so I asked what kind of. It would just be the two of them, I asked. Like a date, and he replied, "No, just two friends. Going to dinner. Why are you so insecure?" I asked him, "Do you miss her? Do you miss being with her?" He said, "I'm not going to lie. Tonight, there's just something about her." I got really upset and told him he can do whatever he wants, but if he goes on this dinner date, I'm done. He thinks I'm over acting and being insecure. So, wise people of Reddit, is this rebound girl overreacting? Original post. I didn't sleep last night. I thought I'd post an update. I decided to stay awake and talk to him when he came home. When he did, I told him I could have shown up at the restaurant and done so many things to get my answer, but I'd like to believe you have enough respect for me to tell me, were you on a dinner? Or Emma? He showed me pictures and said, "No, it was all of us, me." I was stupid enough to feel relieved, even feeling bad for accusing him. Then he told me. He said that after seeing Emma at the gala, he couldn't stop thinking about her. He decided to take Monday and Tuesday, yesterday, off and spent the whole day with her, while I assumed he was at work. He went on about how strong their connection was, how they couldn't stop talking, and how much he enjoyed. He told me I'm a sweet woman, but he never felt that spark with me. He said that at dinner, Emma was laughing and having. And it felt like old times, compared to me being uncomfortable around his friends. I asked him if they had sex and he didn't reply. I asked again, but he still wouldn't answer. I was so upset and asked, "Why did you marry me if you're not over her?" Was the one. Him realize there's no spark between us. He kept going on about how sweet I am and that I'll find someone too. I told him to shut up. I said, "Emma knew about your cancer treatments. Where was she when you needed a friend? Why didn't she ever call you back then?" He went quiet. I feel stupid for ignoring all the red flags over the years and hiring a lawyer and finding my own place. I feel so numb right now. I'm going to contact my brother to help me. Thank you everyone. I will see a lawyer soon. My ex and I got. We share a house that we are currently live in. He sleeps in. I sleep in the spare room. To stay with him. While she is in town, can I legally call the? Or since house is under his name too, he can bring anyone, and cops can't do anything. I suggested he moves out so he can invite whoever he wants. Pay mortgage for our current house and rent for a place he would be staying.